Hello, it's John Heaton. I'm going to continue my series of Supertramp album reviews, reviewing 1974's Crime of the Century. This was their breakthrough album, commercially at least. They'd had a couple of albums which didn't do too well in 1970 and 1971, and I think the band basically split up, and then they found in pretty short succession Dougie Thompson on bass, Bob C. Benberg, an American drummer, and John Helliwell, who took over the sax and wind instruments. And this lineup proved to be the classic lineup, stayed together through 1983, after which Roger Hodgson left the band. And this is the first of 4 consecutive 5-star albums, in my opinion, all of them 10 out of 10. Just faultless creativity from 1974 to 1979 from Supertramp. And as I say, this is the first one, and what's remarkable about it is first of all the songs, and secondly the production. Ken Scott produces, and it's just amazing the sound he gets, and this album quickly got a reputation, along with Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, as being a kind of hi-fi album, and it would be the album that the guy in the guy in the hi-fi shop would put on to demonstrate how good an amp was or a speaker was. So really well produced and brilliant instrumentation from all 5 members, particularly Rick Davis's piano solo on School. It's just amazing, and John Helliwell's sax is just brilliant all the way through. My brother actually asked me to try and say a few words about how I think Supertramp fitted into the musical scene at the time. I think he described them as safe but not mainstream or something like that. I don't like this pigeonholing of bands. I guess you can do it with some styles, such as heavy metal or something, or punk even, but even then, you know, what's punk and what's new wave. And this phrase, prog rock, I don't even know what it means, and it sounds thoroughly pretentious. And you know, they've lumped Supertramp in with Yes and with Genesis, but I don't think necessarily it goes to say that fans of Yes will be Genesis fans or Supertramp fans or vice versa. So, sorry, but I don't know really much about classification, and I think what Supertramp are one of these groups where they're kind of beyond classification. So it's a bit of a crap answer, but that's how I feel. So School was the opening track. This was actually a track co-written by Roger and Rick. They began to write more separately from this point on, but that track was, I think it was basically Roger's song, but Rick wrote a few of the words and contributed the superb piano solo, and it was a great favourite for them to do in concert. And it's a fantastic song, and it leads nicely into Bloody Well Right, which is from Rick Davis. Very amusing, sarcastic, cynical Rick Davis song. Most of his songs tend to be on the cynical side. This one probably set the trend, and very amusing too, and really good melody, good guitar playing from Roger on this as well, and good lyrics, kind of almost creating a concept about school life perhaps, because the first track was School, and then the first line of this song is, so you think your schooling is phony, guess it's hard not to agree. Say it all depends on the money. Who is in your family tree? Good words. So hide in your shell next from Roger. I actually saw an interview with Jeremy Clarkson of all people the other day, saying this was his favourite track of all time. So my opinion of him went up slightly. Good song, very good song. Good build up. Great musicianship, very heartfelt lyrics. I think Rogers said in an interview that he was a little bit depressed, and he was quite young when he wrote this, but It's a kind of uplifting song because it's got some hope in it, as most of Roger's songs do. Asylum, on the other hand, does not have too much hope. It's quite a desperate song from Rick about a guy called Jimmy Cream, I think it is. Jimmy Cream, yeah. Good words, good melody, good slow, powerful drumming from Bob. Good piano playing from Rick. It's a good song. They did this one live as well, pretty often. Dreamer opened side 2, which was the single, and it's from Roger, and it's a great track. Probably heard it a little bit too much over the years, but it's still one of Supertramp's classics, and it was a deserved, I think it was a top 20 hit, that song. This album got to number 4 in the UK, didn't do very well in the US. Then Rudy from Rick is next, very moody track, and it's about a character called Rudy, which some people interpreted might have been a kind of self-portrait of himself by Rick. Quite amusing soundtrack from Paddington Station announcing the train to Bristol Temple Meads, etc., etc. And when they did this in concert, they had the train, the footage of the train speeding along the track to go with the song. So again, excellent production from Ken Scott on this track, and good teamwork vocally from Roger and Rick. And this leads us on to Roger's last track on the album, If Everyone Was Listening. It's just a gorgeous melody, great words, actually inspired by the Shakespeare line, I think, about all the world's a stage and all the people are players, and it's got some good amusing lines. How do you plead, an actor indeed, go relearn your lines. I just love it. This is one of my favourite Supertramp songs, and Roger's songs ever, actually. Then the album closes with the title track, Crime of the Century, and it's a great moody track. It's on the standard A&M label. It's mainly by Rick Davies, but I think it was co-written. Some kind of Gilmour-esque guitar from Roger, and some nice lyrics. And they used to close their concerts with this song. In fact, I think they did the whole album from start to finish on the '74 tour. It's just a classic album, along with the next 3, Crisis, Quietest Moments and Breakfast. 10 out of 10. Thanks for watching. See you next time.